It really is realistic.
It sure is, Beavis.
Let's go, like, look at stuff up close.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm on. Yeah. Look at me, I'm on. Yeah. Look at me. Can't stop. Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. OMG, I don't get pressed. Look at me. I've been on set since 17. I've been on set, unsettling. I'm going numb, amphetamine. I don't do drugs, I'm not a fiend. Push to the edge, no boundary. About 2 or 3 in these leather jeans. Look at me, flex. Tatted my flesh. Never end, dead. Now I'm up, next. Here for those checks. Plenty flows, wet. Look at me, I'm on. Look at me, I'm next. Look at me, I'm on. Touchdown and zone. Home run, Barry Bonds. Can't stop, keep going. Look at me, I'm on. Touchdown.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm going to be changing spark plugs, cleaning the air filter, and changing the oil on this wonderful fine piece of machinery. The 2015 VTEC Honda Civic SI with the big, stupid, loud muffler. Hopefully you guys can get a kick out of it. It should be interesting. I won't be paying attention a lot to the chat because I got to get this done. I still got a couple other things I got to try to get done today. Yeah, let's get started. Hopefully everybody's doing good today. We're doing all right. Myself and the wonderful Miss Nicole. I don't know if she's going to be in on the chat or not. She said she was. So I got all the tools laid out. First thing, you guys, little pro tip. Anytime you run one of these, any kind of clamp like this, your basic hose clamp, put the nut end like to where it's easily accessible. If you guys can see this one down here, it's all up underneath and sideways, so it just makes it a pain to get to. You treat yourself better if you just put it up here somewhere. The good thing about little Honda cars, they're relatively cheap for maintenance. I mean, oil's standard and stuff like that, but if you have to start replacing parts on a little Honda car, it's usually pretty cheap to do it. The bad thing is like just to do the spark plugs, you got to take all this off. You got to take windshield wipers off. You got to remove all this. You got to really tear into it. So, yeah, we got a little bit of work ahead of us. I don't know how long I'll stay live. Probably until either the car's done or one of the batteries goes dead or until the stream drops. Not real sure what'll happen first. air filter is a little dirty, but we'll get that cleaned up. Do that first because that's actually going to have to dry out in the sun. But I don't know if you guys have ever cleaned a K&N type air filter. With this stuff open, I'll show you. Pretty simple. You got the cleaner and the oil. Pretty much just spray it on, clean it, and then when you're done, you put a light coat of oil. The camera's not acting properly. Nicole will be out here telling me everything I'm doing wrong. Clean air filter does help you with your gas mileage. What I need to do is, if I'm going to keep doing dumb stuff like this, I need to set up a monitor out here so I can monitor camera angle. All right, we'll let that sit for a minute. Take this damn camera off. Set it up here. It should ride. All right, so yeah, we're working on the old rice burner, guys. I know it's not for everybody, but what the hell? I'm out here in the garage. We're gonna let this dwell for a while, let all those chemicals get in there and do the work. Then we'll have to rinse it out in the bucket of water. And then we got to let it air dry. They don't recommend actually doing it with compressed air. All right, let's get into this BS. To take this scowl off, we got to pull these rubber grommets off of the windshield wipers. Then you got to pull the windshield wiper blades off. And then you got to pull the plastic scowl. And then You got to pull the heat shield and all that just to get to the spark plugs. I know this is riveting stuff for some people. It sure would be nice if Nicole would take a vested interest in be my camera person, but she's just not feeling it. Ta-da! Windshield wiper off. I'll put the other camera back on in a second, guys. I just want to get these off. By the way, these are 17 millimeter, in case you guys are wondering, for the windshield wipers. All right. I'm going to try not to cuss. The camera's probably going to be crooked. And it's probably going to pick up my reading glasses, but it's the way it goes. All right, so this will come off. Looks like it's got one of these little plastic clips right here. Those are always a joy to work with. Usually they break. Whew. It did not break. Good. A lot of times they break, so you got to end up zip tying them. This will pop out. It should pop out. Anyway. Hold on one sec. I might be forgetting something. Oh no. That's for the coilovers. Alright, if I remember right, that's really all that needs to come out. Okay, you have the hose for your windshield wipers. I'll have to take that off once I get this wonderful piece of equipment free. Keep in mind, guys, we're only changing spark plugs, which is pretty fantastic when you think about it. Alright, so here's your feed line for your windshield wipers. Pull this off. And this car is a 4-cylinder, so you're doing all this work so you can change out 4 wonderful spark plugs. Set this off to the side. Ta-da! It's like magic. This is the heat shield. You got to take this off. This wonderful piece of equipment. I was told to be nice, so I'm being nice. That looks like a 12 millimeter. Yeah, I'm not going to make you guys suffer for the oil change and everything. It's not your guys' fault that we have to do this. We'll get the spark plug pulled. My son-in-law's a pretty good kid. He works, does his best to take care of Faith and them babies. So, but I would not claim him to be real maintenance savvy on his cars. Some people are not car people. I personally am. To each their own, I guess. But just by looking, the car has 100,000+ miles on it, and just by looking at it, I would venture to say the spark plugs have never been changed. Some of the telltale signs are like that little plastic clip that wasn't broken. A lot of times people, when they're working on cars, those little plastic clips are some of the first things to get broke and go. Okay, we got two more. It looks like one right here, maybe three more. To get this out, and then your spark plugs are going to be underneath this right here. Oh, wrong size. Is that a wrong size? Yeah, fantastic. They switched to 10 millimeter all of a sudden. And a pro tip for you Fast and Furious people. If you're going to be Fast and Furious, learn how to work on your car. It helps. I believe that's it. Hold on. I don't want to damage anything. Oh, there is one more. That little bastard's hiding way back inside there. Good save, good save. But, it's kind of ridiculous when you're used to working on your V6s and V8s. A little bit ridiculous to have to go through all this to do spark plugs. But I do have to hand it to Honda in general. You take care of these cars and these little bastards run forever. This is a 4-cylinder. But if I'm not mistaken, it puts out about 600 horsepower, or excuse me, 320 horsepower or something like that. Not bad for a 4-cylinder. All right. So there we go. Looks like he had an animal possibly living in here at one time. But so these are your coil packs. Gotta pull these individually and change out your spark plugs. They're down inside there pretty well. Crack one open, and we'll see what kind of shape they're in. Now you gotta pull these clips off. That's another thing that's real easy to break. So you gotta really pay attention. You gotta pull this piece off right here, lift it up, and then slide that back. I'll pull all of the 10 millimeters off, free them all up, and then we'll go through one by one and change them out. The issue with these cars, a lot of newer cars, pretty much most of them, is the limited space in the engine compartment, the engine bay. It makes it really hard to get to. Some cars are almost impossible. You pretty much have to drop the engines out to do any work on them. BMW's pretty tricky to work on. A lot of times it's just easier to drop the engine out the bottom. And the engines on old cars, The engines would come out of the top. On some of the newer cars, the engine actually drops down through the bottom. Come on, baby. You don't want to break these clips. And plastic, especially underneath the hood, subject to all the heat and stuff all the time, gets pretty brittle. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you break one, but probably recommended not to. You know what I mean? Alright, so that's one off. There's your coil. And then your spark plug is way down inside that hole. See how far down we gotta go. Oh, and another pro tip, when you go in after these spark plugs, make sure you have your rubber inside there. I don't know if you can see that or not. That way it grabs onto the spark plug and you don't end up dropping it down in the barrel and losing it. It helps. You'll be on a fishing expedition if that happens. Ta-da! It's not super bad, but it's definitely fouled out a little bit. Looking a little old. He was running the NGK Iridium. I think that's actually what I got. Yeah. No, see, I got the Ruthenium HX, so I got the high performance ones. He's getting an upgrade, ladies and gentlemen. He is getting an upgrade. Here's the new one. Even though they say they match, it's always a good thing to double check. Put that in. These should start by hand. You should be able to pretty much run them in by hand. You do not want to cross thread because you're going into the block. And if I'm not mistaken, these cars may have aluminum blocks. I'm not sure. I've never personally owned a Honda. And the specifications for this is supposed to be, I believe it's 11 foot-pounds of torque. I'm not going to put a torque wrench on it. I do have torque wrenches, but it's just spark plugs, so we should be good. Clean this up a little bit, check it out. Got that dielectric grease. Now we need a knife. So this is a non-conductive grease, guys. Kind of like Vaseline. This is going to help it seat. It's going to help it grab the spark plug where it needs to be and all that wonderful stuff. Okay, we're in. Clip set. Go back to 10 millimeter. This is like everything else. It should be able to start it by hand. Bump it tight. Good to go. Get our wrench set up for the next one. The 10 millimeter is already out. Where's our fantastic little screwdriver? I think we're going to go ahead and just pull all these plugs. Just all the way across. But I'm going to keep the coil packs in and do them one by one. It's just good practice to keep them separate. That way you know which one is which. I mean, the firing order is actually going to come from the wiring harness, so the pack shouldn't matter. There's number 2. There's our spark plug. This one's got a little bit more of the rust and stuff. It's been in there quite a while. Like I was saying, if you're going to be fast and furious, take care of your cars. If not, you're going to be walking slow and furious because your car is a piece of crap and it broke down. And we're going to eyeball our 11 foot-pounds. That's good. Clean this up. A little bit of our dielectric grease. Grease actually keeps out moisture too. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but adding a little bit of grease, you gotta watch. Of course, it's gotta be specific grease for electrical components, non-conductive, but it actually helps keep out moisture. Sometimes water and electricity don't want to mix too well. That one's done. We'll button it back down. Should be able to run it in by hand. Bump it snug at the end. Good. Let's go to the next one. Not bad. There's our brand new one. Run it in by hand. Snug it up. Take our grease. Okay, we're in. Plug back in. 10mm screw. Yeah, I can't find the hole. There's no hair on it. Yeah, they were definitely due for a change. I can clean this up. Put our grease. All right. Now, aside from putting this thing back into one piece, the spark plugs are officially changed. Ta-da. Get our cover plate. These screws, by the way, are 10 millimeter also. So far, we've used 10 millimeter for these. For the ignition coils, it was a 5/8 spark plug socket. There was a 10 millimeter right here for the heat shield, and then 12 millimeter on the outsides for the heat shield. And then to pull off the windshield wipers, those were 17 millimeter. And it's nice how they actually cut out a little hole right here just so you could get your ratchet inside there. Them 10-year-old little Asians that build these cars in a factory really thought of everything. Ta-da. I'll go back to this real quick. It's pretty nasty. But it is getting cleaner, so alright, we're gonna let that soak. Let's see. Let's go over to my towels that I got so much crap about. Since we're in there poking around, I'll just do a quick once over look around. Aside from it being completely filthy and all that wonderful stuff, it doesn't look too awful bad. Serpentine belt looks good. Yeah. Yes, sir. Might as well check the oil real quick. See how dirty it is. Get an old junky towel. Yep. It's low and nasty. So that's fantastic. But we'll get that next. I hate to leave good company, guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I can't listen to my music or anything since I'm live on YouTube. You guys have seen me do the oil change before. I'm just gonna run the hose down into here, drain it out, swap the filter, fill it back up. This car is going to be using the Mobile One 020 full synthetic, high mileage. And then, of course, me being the brand whore that I am, Mobile One filter. I'll be doing that next. I'll finish the air filter, let it dry in the sun, and then give it a quick coat of the oil. I got to get this put back on. Not a big deal, but. And then this car's so low, I had to put the ramps in backwards because I couldn't drive up on them. So I had to use the jack to lift them up. And then I had to put the ramps in backwards. But I tried to lift up just the front wheel, and the whole side of the car comes up because there's not much to it. But yeah, I mean, this is what I'm doing today. I'll probably take a minute and blow out some of this stuff with the air compressor. I kind of don't want it all over my garage floor, but the sacrifices we make. This is going to be the vehicle, I guess, that goes to pick up Chunk and bring her home. I wouldn't have personally picked it, but each their own. But thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm going to get this put back together, get the oil changed out, and then get cleaned up, and then hopefully get ready to go live tonight on the streets. You guys have a good day, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.